everybody. Glad you're out there watching us here on a Wednesday at noon 13.
If you're watching live.
Central Time here in Tulsa. If you're watching live. I see Angerworm out there. Mystic Moose is out there. Carbon Ballas is out there.
What about
Jams is out there. I met Jams in Joplin.
Jams? Joplin Jams?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You'll never guess what Jams' real name is. Don't say it on stream. It's pretty easy to guess. What are we doing today? Well, that's a good question. It's a beautiful day.
Grape?
Pete. We're playing some Sealed.
It is Pete?
No, it's not. It's James. We're going to play some Sealed because
I would never. I don't never strong. James would have been top of my list.
Sorcery is the best thing that's ever happened to my tabletop gaming life. I would say.
Wow.
It's like the game that I've been waiting for since before I knew how to play trading card games.
What, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hyperbolic was that statement? 10 being most hyperbolic.
I think it's probably a 2.
Okay.
This is the most fun I have had, strictly in terms of gameplay. I mean, I think, in deck building, we had our moments, of course, Star Wars TCG. When you have a lot more time on your hands, and you have a kind of that social circle early on in your life, I think you can do more with any TCG. So like the max enjoyment is not the highest it's ever been. But in terms of like loving the experience that happens on the table every single time I play, there's nothing close to it for me. Which was reasserted by my time in Joplin. So we're gonna
tell me more.
We'll talk about that a little bit. We'll play some Sealed. What else will we do? You want to talk about anything? Anything on
Talk
your
about
mind?
this guy just real quick.
Hello, I probably watched all your VODs. That's video on demand, Zach, from the last 2 years, but this might be the first live stream I've caught.
And this is from
And that is
Roshni.
Roshni. Awesome, Roshni. Where are you from, Roshni?
And
It's weird when
welcome.
people talk to you through the screen. It's so strange. Even when I was at home watching you stream, you and Garrett or whatever that was. Yeah, it felt weird to watch you do that. And then I didn't want to type in the chat because I was worried that you'd say my name on stream. And then it feels so weird to have an experience of somebody saying your name into a live stream and actually addressing you.
Is that negative or positive for you?
It's cool. I mean, it's just, you feel exposed. It's like a weird feeling. Like you're in the chat and you're saying, and then suddenly it's like you feel like a spotlight is on you, even though nobody can see where the spotlight is shining.
Yeah. Well, it's almost,
It's just kind of,
in a certain sense, most of the internet is pretty anonymous. And while it's still anonymous if you're Jams, not distinctly, legally distinct from James, it's anonymous. And you go from just being an onlooker to potentially a part of it.
yeah.
Because right now, Roshni's came from Central North Carolina.
Yeah, there it is.
And so you're not just a spectator. You're actually engaged. That is probably the coolest thing to me about live, is that can happen and there is actual interaction. But the way you said it, it was almost like terrifying.
Well, it is terrifying to me. For some people, it probably wouldn't be. But it's not terrifying. Terrifying is like being in a lake with an alligator. Like, that's terrifying.
You know what?
This is just a little bit like...
Context is relevant, is it not?
It's digitally slightly uncomfortable at first to be so directly
People
called
that
out.
Carbon Ballas comment back up. I just got to say it because he says, I love it. Spot me.
All right, Carbon Ballas right there. Carbon Ballas, where are you from?
Jonathan, can you do me a favor? Oh, we're back on the pandemic. Where are you from? Can you do me a quick favor?
Yes.
Can you just run a quick poll of the people watching right now, whether it's positive or negative to get called out on stream? I'm genuinely curious. I assume
should we say positive or negative, or should we say awkward or not awkward? Say awkward or not awkward.
Do
Positive
you
and
really
negative is an impossible poll.
Do you like it or not like it?
Are you Gen Z enough to use the word awkward?
Say,
Like or dislike?
would you enjoy being mentioned directly on stream
There
or
it is.
not?
That's right. Okay.
Because-
Would you enjoy being mentioned
cool.
on stream?
Because
1 second.
obviously the people, and I
dressed
won't
the
say
same
obvious.
today.
I think.
Why did Jonathan address this?
Yeah. Did you?
Oh, we did.
You guys call each other beforehand?
Yeah, he changed
Hold
in the
on.
parking lot.
Let me check and see if I missed a call
He literally
from you
changed
this
in the
morning.
parking lot. I
That
saw
is
him with his
true.
shirt off in the parking lot this morning.
What?
No,
He
no.
saw Steven. He's like, I'm underdressed. I've got to step up my game.
I was out this morning catching tadpoles with my son, and I had to run to the house, grab my nice shirt, jump in the car in order to make it.
Yeah. So you went from tadpole shirt to business shirt.
Tadpole casual.
I like that. Tadpole casual. So
Enjoy being mentioned on stream.
I think people commenting on a live stream maybe are. That's why I want to run a poll, because people that don't like being called out would never tell me in a comment that they don't, because then they might get called out.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to run a poll real quick.
Well,
just
there's
to see.
45 people, and let's say there's 10 or so that have said anything. So maybe 35 people don't want to be. You know, you kind of just want to be.
Is it don't want to be, or is it you're maybe not even in position to comment? Like you have headphones in, you're at work, or you have it up on the screen at home.
That could be, yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff.
It's
totally.
like how I just go to Sorcery General, and I rarely say anything, but I just watch.
Yeah. I know the type. Totally Random Studios, Jin's here, and I love hearing my name, or my handle at least. A handle is different than a name. Anyone that wants anonymity can still maintain it, I suppose.
Oh, they're blowing you out of the water, Steven.
Roshni saying, I enjoy my little moments of fame when I'm referred to in a live stream.
I'm glad.
Yeah, it's good.
And Justin, too. What's up, Justin? He almost came to Joplin.
Almost.
But then we realized it was a far drive for him.
Texas somewhere?
Yeah, Austin.
Deep Texas.
From Austin to Joplin.
Yeah, that's like a 9-10 hour thing.
Less than 2 hours for me.
Yeah.
That was easy peasy, man.
Joplin is really close.
That was an easy drive.
It's one of the closest, I guess for where you're at, technically Oklahoma City would have been closer, but it's one of the closest non-Tulsa cities, that is drivable.
It has like a 2 or 3 mile stretch of road right off the highway that is just every franchise and chain you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun in like its Americana nature where it's just like they have everything, but like it's all like the Red Lobsters and the McDonald's. And it's just down the line.
I got skewed a little a week or two ago on stream when I said Joplin was like you do the road trip stuff city. Mm-hmm. It's like the last city you really hit. There's like if you're taking the road to like St. Louis, which then gets you to like Indianapolis or Chicago or Minneapolis or whatever. It's like the last decent sized city you hit. There's that in Springfield, kind of. And then past that, it's like not good until you get to kind of Rolla. But then really St. Louis.
Look at you go.
Anywho, but if you're coming from Tulsa, it's the first non-Tulsa city that you hit after a couple hours. So on road trips, it's a really common, just like you can stop and do almost touristy type stuff. And you don't feel bad about it because no one from Tulsa that you know is likely to see you there. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to drink Starbucks. No shame on me.
We have studio head.
I saw Andrew Navarro's face pop up.
Of course, Innovator Supreme in the chat right now. Andrew Navarro, speaking of callouts. Head of Earthborn Games. Hub-World Eidolon coming up. How about that? But also a huge Sorcery fan. Player of the game. Loves the game. The whole team loves the game. I've heard that directly.
I knew he had played. I didn't know the whole team was smitten.
Yeah, they played it a bunch, and then they said we should make Hub World a grid-based game. And that's how the whole thing started. You
Definitely.
wouldn't believe it.
Just ripped right out of there.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's like a 3x3. It's a little smaller, and the action's a little different, but it's the same idea. Basically.
Technically, Hub World is a 6x3.
That's true.
Which is almost a 4x5.
Wait,
I think that's some fuzzy math.
You have a 3x3 and I have a 3x3.
Oh, okay. All right. No, I'll take that. Okay. Unfuzzy that math.
Yeah.
There's 18 spots on the board.
Man thinks like an Excel spreadsheet. I was thinking number of squares, but no, it's 6.
It's, total.
6 deep.
You have to count all of
3 across.
Mm-hmm.
18 total spots. 9 each. What's up, Frank Levy?
You just witnessed a live revelation.
Is it Frank Levy or Frank Levi?
I think it's Levy, but
I think I met.
You should not trust my
Frank this when I
pronunciation.
Actually saw him.
When you met him?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So anyhow, the poll. Let's
anyway,
talk about the poll.
Anyway, back to the polls. Pollster.
So 96% enjoy being mentioned on stream.
Okay, well let's start listing them out, man.
All right, so here we go.
Love Pie, because it's awesome, says, literally just watch you guys beat the hood. It's a treat catching you live.
Whoa.
Well, Love Pie, it's awesome.
That's
a name we can all get behind.
I just think about what year did we stream Playing the Hood? That would have been 3 years ago?
Couldn't tell you.
2 years? It's at least 2 years ago.
I was probably still playing, what was I playing, Black Panther? Were you playing Captain America?
You play a lot of Black Panther.
We had a string there.
We kind of got away from Doctor Strange and Captain America and Black Panther because it was just too good.
Yeah.
Generically.
Freightliner 2100 in the chat. John, who I played in the finals of the draft.
He's in the thumbnail, I think.
In the what?
Yeah, I think he's in the thumbnail.
In the thumbnail? No. That's Brandon.
That's Brandon. Is he here too?
Don't know. We'll see. We'll find out.
Brandon. Levi liked the jeans.
Levi liked the jeans. Okay.
Frank Levi.
No, John was great. John's great. John the Tall. Great.
John the Tall?
Seriously, I talked to
Tall
him
John?
and his wife, Victoria.
Oh, John
I
the Tall, I
assume it was
see.
your wife. I mean, I guess I shouldn't
Significant
jump
other?
to assumptions, but
Friend?
at least significant other. About historical fencing.
Ooh.
They were big in historical fencing for about 25 years.
Hold on. What is historical fencing for 500, please?
Well, luckily, I talked to somebody about this. So here's the best, and John may disagree with this definition, but here's the key thing about historical fencing to me. There are two critical assets. One, period costumes. So a part of it is the dressing appropriately for the time.
So if we were doing a historical fencing bout from the 1700s, we would dress like we're from the 1700s.
Were we still fencing the 1700s? I assume.
Or is it like, that's what I was,
Have we
are you
always been?
replicating fencing things or like sword fights?
Yeah, fencing things, specifically fencing.
One thing to note for context of Steven's potential passion about this topic is that whenever we used to play Melee, which is where you put the foam on the weapons and you hit each other, he had a fencing sword
I had a rapier.
in which he was very good.
That was kind of unfair, though, really.
I don't know.
Then little poker.
Yeah.
You couldn't slash with it.
It was really light. I couldn't slash with it, that's right, but I was faster.
Yeah,
that was the
quite
key.
fast.
So you gotta wear, and in John and Victoria's case, make the costumes.
Okay.
So leather working and got into the whole. It's like a miniatures game. You get into the crafting and all of this.
But just
well.
life size.
I'm sure some people just buy it, but they were making all their own stuff. And then there are very specific styles of fencing. So the Spanish style, the Italian style, et cetera, and they're all a little bit different.
I love this.
And and in Olympic fencing, like current day fencing, it's absolutely garbage.
According to you or
no,
he?
that's not John's words. That's my words. Because
It's like basketball today.
exactly, they've gotten it to the point where the fencing rod is too tiny and flimsy, and so the majority of the Olympic fencing moves and idea, the metagame, is about bending the sword so that it slaps into the opponent and hits their armor, which triggers the electrical thing and calls them out. So even if they block your move, your sword bends around their block and hits them anyway.
I mean, at some point you're just fencing with slices of bacon, you know? It's like raw slices of bacon.
So in historical fencing, your swords are much more rigid, which means you actually have to fence.
Yeah, that you gotta really get them.
Mm-hmm.
That's so annoying. I have very charged thoughts about the state of basketball in the NBA, which I will not go into. But I feel similar, where it's like
they're bending the swords.
we're bending the swords.
Yeah.
This is not even basketball anymore, guys.
And then also worth noting, as you might expect, what historical fencing actually turns into is getting together with a bunch of people who have a niche hobby and hanging out over a weekend.
It's sort of like a miniature Ren Fair style thing.
It's like Ren Fair or tabletop games or anything else. Like you find people who are interested in doing a very specific kind of weird thing, and then you all get together and have a great time.
I think it's so powerful. That's what card games have been for us forever, which is just a niche of a thing to really get into and obsess over. And when you share that with someone, that connection is really immense. So I always love my brother Tim is like random fact guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he will always just bring up random hobbies I've never heard of.
Yeah.
He's like, I discovered people do this. And it's relatively big. I feel the same when people find card games.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's very obscure. And then you start talking about it like, wait a second. You know, even talking about going to Gen Con. It's like, how many people are going to do this thing? More than you expect.
More than you think. I'll tell you that.
Ross, spill the tea, Zach. Yeah.
Okay, so anyway.
Don't get me charged up. Don't get me charged up.
Joplin was
so
great.
a couple things I want to know, Steven.
Yeah.
First of all, how was the venue?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't at a local game store, right?
It was not at a game store. No, it was raw sorcery. It was perfect sorcery. So this is the event. It's Midland Mayhem, which is an annual event at this point. Did it last year as well. I remember getting an invite from Pete, and we weren't able to make it.
I didn't realize it was Joplin, though.
You remember Pete from SorceryCon, right?
Yeah, Pete.
So maybe this is probably, I don't know Pete. Okay? I know Pete's a really nice guy. I love him. He's the kind of guy that you meet and you're like, there's something about this guy that is just welcoming and nice. I like this guy.
After like a brief interaction, I really like this guy.
Yeah. But it turns out Pete is just kind of more of a I thought he was a little bit more rigid than he is. I think he's actually a little bit of, he's kind of got this this outdoorsman hippie kind of vibe going on. So I liked him even more this time around when I met him. He was in his element because he lives at a campground.
Okay.
Like I used to do at Camp Redlands in Stillwater.
I see.
He lives there with a bunch of kids, and he caretakes the property, and that is where the event was. And it is a massive complex, massive amount of land, and used to be a big Boy Scout thing. They'd run all the Cub Scouts through there, thousands of them, and then attendance kept kind of going down, and then they had another campground nearby, and they didn't need both of them, and so then they were going to sell this campground, and they were going to sell it to a guy that was going to put in an RV park. And then the community of people who had spent their lives going out there were like, we don't want this to turn into an RV park.
Nice.
Pete was one of those people. They got together and said, is there any way we can buy this from you Boy Scouts? And they were like, sure, if you can raise through $750,000. And so they proceeded to do that. They formed a board. They raised the money with the help of a couple of very specific, well-endowed friends in terms of finances, lawyers and such. And then they bought it. And then the caretaker that was out there didn't want to be a part of that new thing. She was old. She was ready to move on. And they said, does anyone want to live out here and caretake the property? And Pete's like, I'll do it. And so he proceeded to live out there. And that's why the Midland Mayhem took place out there.
That's awesome.
And so we drove in. Robert was with me. We went up there. And you spend a good half mile just driving through road in the campground, passing cabins, passing, volleyball courts and lodge stuff. You come to a relatively unmarked building that says Lodge on it, Camp Lodge.
Lodge.
With some people sitting out in rocking chairs out front.
Nice.
And so I get out of the car and I'm like, we're here for card games. And they're like, you're in the right place. Then proceeded to walk in. There's about 20 or so folks that are there. People came in from Ohio, 12-hour drive.
Killer.
Contingent came in from Detroit, 12-hour drive. Kyle, etc. I don't want to start naming Dalton, all of them.
Too late. We're sliding down the slide.
So we had the Ohio crew, the Detroit crew, and then the other half is basically Pete's kids and nephews and nieces and stuff. All
Blood
of
relation.
which are just absolutely killer at the game of Sorcery. John and Victoria, apparently John got started playing the game fairly recently when he saw some art and was like, what's this? And then I think Pete got him involved, if I'm not mistaken. And so then, you know what happens? It's just so chill. It's like we use the word sweaty. It's so unsweaty. It's crazy.
There was air conditioning here.
There was air conditioning. Pete had made breakfast for everybody.
Really?
Like camp breakfast, so like bacon and eggs and stuff. And
that's
we were
so charming.
We were a little late for that, Robert and I. Then Robert took off and went in and kind of just explored Joplin. I stayed there.
I need to ask him about that.
Did sealed, 5 rounds of sealed, and then ended up going 3-2.
Sealed was 4 beta, 2 Arthurian Legends,
Yeah,
which is what we played. Was that last week?
It's really fun.
Well, last stream, I was out last.
Oh, I was like,
best.
that feels like way longer than a week ago.
Yeah.
It's the best.
And that's what we're playing today.
Yeah, we're going to play that today.
So you do sealed 5 rounds. Sorry, go ahead.
Went 3-2. What actually happened is I won my first game. I lost my second game. And then I lost my third game.
Oh, no.
And I was like, I'm not good at this. And so then Robert was like, I'm coming in. Do you need anything?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what I need is a 6-pack of Stella Artois.
Yes.
And so then I asked Pete, I was like, hey, I know there's kids and stuff here, but I've seen that there's beers in the fridge and stuff. So what are your rules? And he's like, we don't care at all. Just kind of put it in a cup or something.
Yeah.
Don't flaunt it around. And so they had some red Solo cups back there. So I went back to
Pete talked to one of my brothers.
Went back to college. And
deep gut.
after my third round, I had a Stella sitting on the patio, the porch, talking to John and Victoria, and the weather was perfect. And I went in and I won my next round. I had another Stella. And I won my 5th round. I had another Stella. And then I made the top 8. And then I won the first round of that. I had my last Stella. Then I won the top 4.
Wait, we're 4 Stellas deep?
3. I had 3 total.
Okay.
Yeah. And then between the top 4 and the finals, I did not drink a Stella Artois, and I lost.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
Now, a quick word from our new sponsor, Stella. Fuel your tournament performance with a
I think-
crisp cold sip
But
There's
yes,
some in
of
the
Stella Artois. What'd you say?
a crisp cold sip. How about that?
Yeah. So
What a great, but that's like the perfect day
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, sounds great.
I mean, you just described so close to what a perfect event actually is for me.
Yeah.
Where if we're all playing the game and having fun, and we can take it serious-ish, ish being, but it's all at the same level of ish
Yeah.
together, where you can have Stellas and you can sit on the porch and it's not rushed and it's not crowded and it's not super loud and it's not, all that stuff.
It's awesome.
It's so good.
You know what happened between the sealed rounds and the top 8 draft? Pete made a bunch of chili dogs.
Of course you did.
So I had a Stella and a chili dog.
Yeah.
Is
Is
between
this your
the draft.
segue into trying to continue to convince me that we need hanging sausages?
I'm telling you,
3.0?
the hanging sausages also need to
We've
be up
got-
top, and then we need chili dogs on bottom.
We've got Jasper on the line. He's ready. He's ready to
He's ready to
consult.
cure
He's ready to
cure
consult.
those sausages,
He can- yeah.
Nothing but great games. Had 2 games against Brandon that were very good. He beat me in the sealed, and then I beat him in the top 4 of the draft.
Revenge.
With the
I love a good revenge
yeah.
story.
And had some hilariously great conversations with Esau, who was one of Pete's nephews, and just enjoyed being in that environment. And then in the finals against John, so John had drafted the Sorcerer out of his first. So we did first pack was Arthurian, second pack was Beta, third pack was Beta.
Say no more, fam.
So we drafted everything, and then I guess that second pack of Beta, John opened, and there's a Sorcerer, and so we drafted that. And so once the top 8 began, and you kind of got a read on everybody, and you saw that John was playing Sorcerer, you're like, oh, okay. So John's in the finals, but like, can you beat him? And I was close. There was
How close? Like Death's Door close?
we were both on Death's Door, but like it was the kind of thing where I got him to DD and he had the cards in hand to kill me no matter what I did, like a Heat Ray and Leap Attack and that. So it wasn't necessarily close, but it was a long game. He had 2 cards left in his deck.
That's
Wow.
close.
Probably 4.
You lose when you run out of decks, right? In Sorcery?
Is that true?
I
If
think
that's
so.
true, I should probably play that differently. 4 to 6 cards in hand.
I've played too many games
Yeah.
right now.
Is it
But-
when you run out or when you can't draw anymore?
I'm pretty sure. I think it's when you would need to draw and can't.
Yeah.
You lose.
Yeah,
So if
that's
you only have 2 cards left, you just need to survive.
3.
Well, the problem is if he has 2 cards in his deck, he can choose to draw a sight instead
He can just always not.
until he runs out of sights.
That's right, because that's what they were saying is if you run out of deck, you have to mandatorily draw the site. Yeah. So he wouldn't lose, but you can run out of threats, legitimately. So I was able to find enough plays, one of them being Poison Nova, that took 2 to 3 cards to his 1. So even though he was getting 2 cards to my 1 every turn, if my 1 card was doing 2 cards or more worth of work, then it was there. But he had some absolutely disgusting, like cards that get way better in an Arthurian plus Beta format is cards like Mortality. And Mortality targets a site. And so like my whole game plan is kind of built around stealth. And it turns out a lot of these stealth things are mortals and you just target the site and kill them all. So anyway, John was playing cards like he's an old Magic player, like got in the early first set kind of stuff. And is evaluating and playing cards from a more historical lens of what's good rather than what the sorcery meta has determined is good.
Yeah.
And so it's fascinating to see what cards he drafted that I passed on and vice versa.
Yeah. I have a similar experience in Alpha Clash with Michael Hamilton because he played Magic, not in the early days, but in the days where the cards are more like what Alpha Clash is like.
Yeah.
So he will see a card and he will be like, oh, this is like A, B, and C.
Uh-huh.
This is a good card. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then you use it and it's like, okay, he's right.
Yeah.
I guess it.
Yeah.
So, but if you played early like basically mid-ish 90s Magic, Alpha, etc., Sorcery, I feel like would be right in your pocket of expertise.
And John, I think, got into the game because he saw a piece of art and he was like, oh, that takes me back. That was it.
Perfect.
John, if that's true, what was the art?
It was, I know what this is.
Blue
He
trivia.
told me.
See if Steven can get it before John responds.
No, I thought it was
a race.
Pompetti, but it's not quite Vincent Pompetti's thing. It was the artist interview that they did with somebody.
Quentin Hoover?
Yes. I think it was Quentin Hoover.
Brother Knight, early Magic
I
artist.
think it was Hoover. We'll see. John will let me know. But check this out. Here's what we got. And just giving away all sorts of stuff. Also, Phantasmal Shade is great. Great card. This card is great with
Brother Knight.
With Lance tokens. Phantasmal Shade with Lance tokens changes the game, right? This is why the Arthurian plus beta is so awesome. Anyway. Midland Mayhem card, stamped. Midland Mayhem stamped card. And then a Midland Mayhem...
What do you think?
Step exclusive.
This is like almost a dragon-like thing?
Yeah, it's like a gargoyle-y kind of
Spirit
shade.
of Imagined Evil.
Yeah, like a shade.
Dude, look at these knights hanging out down here. The foil does a...
Oh my gosh, wow, I'd never even seen this
I
card
hadn't seen
before.
that. Yeah, I had never really looked at that.
Did you ever watch that weird show,
Oh, he probably.
Midnight Mass?
Oh no, I did not watch that.
Midnight Mass?
This Phantasmal Shade reminds me of Midnight Mass.
That's
Incredible
crazy.
little painting here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got some stamp cards. Also won a raffle.
Nice.
Whoa. There was a lot raffled off, a lot of mats.
Hey now, that's the Stony Brook Inn.
Stony Brook Inn.
Yeah.
I'm
But it's
basically
got a
a genius.
QR code and a bunch of rules text on it, so maybe we'll give this away or something.
Man,
But it's great art.
I'm finding myself actively dodging conversations like QR codes. I just need to
Wait, you're
not.
dodging them like QR codes, so like you're scanning yourself to get out of it?
No, I'm. That's funny.
Thanks.
I just
I like recognized humor.
didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so I don't. I feel like I'm easy. My fuse is short, you know.
Yeah.
And so instead of talking about why today's modern basketball is bad and/or QR codes, I'm just gonna play sorcery.
What about
Stream-
QR codes in modern basketball?
Stream viewers will notice that Zach is often lacking sleep on the stream.
Wonder why that is. Got one of them babies.
Maybe it's baby
I do
related.
have one more question
Yeah.
before you guys start playing. So been to giant fab events now. Been to Sorcery Con, which was large. Been to the second Sorcery Con.
OG
Been to the
Sorcery
first
Con.
Sorcery Con.
Yeah.
And now been to Midland Mayhem. Where are you now thinking the ideal size for a gathering is?
I think I would say like I think I would not go larger than 48 people in my ideal world. Now, there are times when you want that big challenge and that big whatever. But if I was building an event just for me, just to enjoy without any other secondary motives, it would be about 48 people in a similar kind of setting as the campground with the same kind of weather.
Chili dogs.
Chili dogs. Just, I mean, like I would finish around 20 minutes. I would go on a walk in the woods, like around the campground, just outside hanging out. Come back, sit down in a chair, have conversations, have a Stella at one point, and then go back inside and play another round. Like, tell me how different that is from a conference center, even in Vegas, where you're just like, okay, you walk outside and just like constant stimulation, and
It'd be cool if there's a space built like right next to like a trail.
that'd be cool.
Or that kind of thing. That would be cool.
Or like if the space itself is like really nice and
Or even like
And like
they
had
put
spaces.
a place to hang out outside.
an outside space.
Outside space
chill
would be
with.
really good.
I think we might be onto something, guys.
Some sort of
To answer your question for me,
Yeah.
my actual ideal gathering is probably like 8 to 12
even smaller.
people that I like. We actually scheduled that we're gonna draft Spoils, which is the first game that Covenant ever sold way back in the day, in June sometime, and it's 8 people drafting.
Yeah.
It's like I love that, but also there's like different lanes. That's one. The next one is, I don't know, 30 to
You can just say 48.
48 is good. I think that once you get past, there is some number, and my theory is it's somewhere around between 100 and 150, where it goes from a gathering of people to like an event or like a happening. It goes from a community to like a conference.
Isn't there monkey stuff about this?
Yeah, I was
150.
going to say,
Yeah.
you know my opinion on this, but
Yeah.
I'm going
Is
to
it
put it on the
150
record.
monkeys?
I think it correlates almost
150
directly
monkeys.
with Dunbar's number.
Yeah.
And which is what?
Dunbar's number is, I think, is 125. You can basically the very short version of
I'm pretty sure it's 150.
Your brain, I think it's 150. Your brain is only capable of recognizing 150 people at a time, storing them as other humans. Mm-hmm. Everything else past that devolves into stereotypes or, shorthand in some way.
Yeah.
But like if you want to talk about the people in your life, 150 is the max.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and that's
you got to make some cuts to bring some new ones in. Sometimes.
That's specifically related to like your social circle. Mm-hmm. But even you can imagine at some scale of event, and I've been to a lot of big events at this point, it does become just like a mass crowd.
There's just players.
Yeah. It's not people in your
right.
heart and mind. And even just like, I play someone at a pro tour for Fab. And usually there's like 500, 800 players in the Pro Tour, and then there's 2,000 or 3,000 people total at the event for all the other stuff going on. But it was 99% of the time true that I would play someone I never played in round 2 and then never see them again. Mm-hmm. Like not even see them, let alone actually engage with them. But it's like, because it's just, and those aren't even the biggest events. Anyways, that would be my answer to the...
The other thing is I was telling and we remember this from a long, long time ago, but I was telling my other video editor, John Kaufman, about the 3 ingredients for friendship, and I forgot 2 of them. But one of them
the one ingredient to friendship.
It's like constant random encounters. Mm-hmm. Right? And so when you have that sea of people, you don't have, like, that's what you're talking about, but when you have the 48, you're going to run into that person over, you're going to eat chili dogs with them, you're going to have Stella with them, you're going to start to build that rapport.
Yeah, and the cool thing about like a 48 or whatever that bigger number is you're going to meet people you wouldn't have basically chosen to engage with. Mm-hmm. Like when we have the 8 people, it's a very select group of people that already know each other.
Right.
And so if I only ever played with those 8, I would never, as an example, meet Eric Wainwright. Mm-hmm. But because there was the larger gathering at some point, I met Eric. And then eventually Eric came. So, it's this whole thing. But that's part of the allure of these card games when you have these kind of regular communities that you engage with. You have those random, but also scheduled encounter opportunities to see the same person over and over. So at a singular event, because we're not going to go to Joplin every weekend, there is a scale that you hit where you start to become unlikely to ever see the person again. Mm-hmm. And wherever that number is, and last year was revealing for me because we went to Sorcery Con in Seattle, which is happening this coming weekend in Seattle.
On the Cup, yeah. I wish I was going.
No, it's not this weekend. It's 2 weeks. It's next weekend.
I think it was going real bad.
Is it next weekend? No.
I don't know. I'm not going. It's in June.
It's a couple weeks. My brain's messed up.
It's in June.
I think I lost sleep last night.
Yeah. That's great.
I'm going to Iowa next week, and it's the weekend after that. And it's like I'm already going to Iowa, so it's like too much for me to do. Mm-hmm. Anyways, we went to that, and that was like 70 people.
Yeah.
And then we went to Sorcery Con later in the year, and that was 400 or 500. And somewhere between there, you cross that line.
Definitely.
Because Sorcery Con still, I ran into a lot of the same people. Like Kyle, I had a lot of really great conversations with, and we kind of kept bumping into each other. I'm going to stop naming names now. But at Sorcery Con, I definitely met people.
Sorcery Con Vegas.
I just never engaged with again. Nothing against the event, but it became an event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a big event.
Yeah.
You know what I've learned? As you play more and more, your evaluation of Lance tokens continues to go up.
Oh.
One thing that I think I could have done in the finals game that I could have either drafted into it a little bit harder or I could have played into it more. You basically, against Sorcerer, you have to ask, how is it possible that I can keep up on card advantage with this avatar? And you really can't unless you have very specific cards. But one of those that's very common in Arthurian Legends is Lance tokens. What I was finding was that as I was reflecting on that game after the fact, a Lance token on Spell Slinger gives you something to do with your avatar that is not just drawing a side or playing a side. And after about turn 6 or 7 or 5, you really need to be... the sorcerer is drawing them a card. Yeah. What is your avatar doing to level the playing field?
Derping around, man.
Dropping a Lance token on Spell Slinger and taking out a 2-power minion is extremely
that makes sense.
Important way to
compared
start
to
leveling
just drawing a sight
advantage.
Or moving or something like that.
Yeah, extremely important. So my evaluation of Lance tokens is higher, especially if you don't see an avatar other than Spell Slinger. It gives you something to do with this card. And I think you need that so you don't just strictly lose. And then, cards like Poison Nova were tremendously impactful
Seems good
for me.
Removal's good.
And, the other thing that I found was that I forget that your draft decks are actually worse than your sealed decks.
They really are.
You feel like it should be better because you have control. But what you realize is that there's like 1 to 2 good minions in any pack of sorcery. And so by the third pick, you don't see any of them. The bodies are gone, baby.
Well, it's also either the bodies or the removal's gone. And if it happens to line up in a way where you're just not seeing, you might get a lot of removal and no bodies, or vice versa, or you might get none of it.
Yeah, but in sealed you have 6 packs, so you probably get 2 or 3 bodies per pack and maybe 1 piece of removal.
You get like 12 to 14 things you can depend on.
It's better.
Yeah.
But so I went going in, I thought this draft deck is garbage, but I know now that your draft decks are just way worse. So it wasn't garbage. It's probably very good.
That's 100% how I felt last year in Seattle when I drafted in that top 8. Because we'd done a lot of seal, but not a lot of draft. And I was like, well, I'm going to lose immediately.
Yeah.
And somehow kept winning.
Yeah. But and I feel like I was the only person drafting the 4 cost has all the traits, or the 4 power has all the traits, little donkey looking thing.
Yeah.
That got passed way too often to me, and I was like, it's the only thing in the pack that's more than 3 power.
Yeah.
Every time. And so I picked up 2 or 3 of those guys, and it's like, you drop a 4 power, sometimes it's like, the game's over.
It's like, I'm all out of my control, so you just get to have that for the rest of the game. Speaking of which, you ready to do this?
Yeah, let's take a look at what we can do today, because this is my favorite thing in the world to do.
Now you're the expert, so
I love sealed.
guide us along.
You mean I wasn't the expert before?
I mean, did you have a finalist performance in a sealed or draft event for Sorcery before this?
I guess I hadn't. I actually did pretty poorly at the Sorcery Con.
I didn't want to bring it up.
Oh, this card is freaking gas. Raised Dead.
Oh,
man.
Foil.
In my foil slot. So good. This won me a game against Brandon where I raised Deaded off of like a 1 in 12, a Kobolds. And then you can summon it anywhere, and I just put it on his avatar, and then at the end of the game, it's really
How do you feel about 4-berry knot?
Never. I wouldn't play a card like that, but it's probably very much playable.
Beacon's good. Warhorse is good.
It's just I'm embracing me.
Sir Percival seems okay.
Yeah, all those guys are great if you can play them.
Yeah. We will.
Wicker Mannequin probably not.
I love
great.
The draft packs have made when you actually see sites, it's like a very big positive.
Yeah, like deserts are like, oh
yeah.
Ooh. John, if you're still out there, what did you learn about draft and sealed?
He clearly had something going on. I guess he had Sorcerer as well, so that's a thing. That card seems good.
Ooh, a bottomless pit.
How do you feel about guards in this format?
Guards is great. That's
Seems
bomb
crazy,
town,
yeah.
It's bomb on bomb.
Bomb on bomb. What was that movie?
Right here.
Where he's on a plane.
Foil. Change of Prometheus foil.
And he's like bomb, 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 bomb.
That can be a good card.
It's beautiful foil.
Azure Caravan is what I was talking about. Patrician Cavalry, Ogre Goons. Oh my goodness, all the hits. Let's keep doing beta. Hey Kevin, yeah, that's good I'm glad. You said, I appreciate the gameplay. I'm playing a ton of Magic, but I have trouble getting Sorcery to the table, and I really miss playing. Well, all I can say is that it is, as you know, so worth it to play this game. It's the best.
Are there more Explorer Series events happening?
Yeah, they're everywhere. There's one a month. I think the next one is in Columbus, Ohio, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
Dude, I've got 2 lightning bolts and 2 fire bolts so far.
Just waiting for that Sorcerer to show up.
He's done for, and a second Patrician Cavalry. Dude, this is going to be unfair.
We will see.
It'll be a boring game.
Oh, dude, look at this.
What's that band?
A foil Immortal Throne.
Oh, let's go. That's a foil unique, buddy.
Yeah, look at that.
That's worth money. Eventually, right? Or
Look
now?
at it.
I don't know.
Man.
Have you really looked at this art? That's very, very cool.
The one in the background that looks gigantic is awesome.
Oh, an autumn unicorn. Okay. Clamor of Harpies. These are such good cards. Zach, these are the best. And they're Crater Eyes.
Is it better than your pool on Saturday?
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I actually think I had a really, really bad sealed pool. in retrospect. I was telling everybody when we were talking after the games, it's like, I'm noticing that everybody's playing better cards than me. Like, I'm sitting here playing my cards, and then you're playing better cards.
And he's winning anyway.
I feel like that's a sign. I only went 3-2 in Sealed. I was not.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Did not have a great time in Sealed. Wow, this is actually some of the best. If we were just doing this beta pool, this is probably the best that I've ever seen.
You would be feeling pretty good about your life.
Wow.
Here we go.
Yeah, jams. Columbus, Ohio, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in July. Louisville, Kentucky in August. These guys are putting in the work, man. They're putting in the freaking work.
The freaking work.
Hey, look at this unique foil giant from Arthurian Legends.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a bomb in Sealed?
That seems very good.
Oh my gosh.
Which one? Which giant's that?
Rita Goar of Snowdonia.
Oh, God, that guy's crazy.
They don't have to name him. They
Snowdonia.
don't have to name him like that.
I love
But they just, it's like, what is that? What is that? Snowdonia? What is that? And it's
That's
like,
the one I liked. One of the ones I was happiest the most to pick
don't
up. I picked that up at Sorcery Con.
You don't need to know. Shameless Squire was a great draft pick for me throughout the event.
That's the like triple.
No, that's the one that taps something when it comes in,
Oh.
force it to drop, and then it
Oh, here
also
we go.
lands.
John answered the call.
Yeah, John, what do you got?
Says, I tried to draft 2 things of 3 mana cost, no more than 4, so I wouldn't have to draw as many sites. I wanted to double up on sorcerer draws and hopefully draw enough 2 or 3 cost guys to put out a threat.
Yeah, and he was doing that exact thing. I think he did that in Sealed too. Got a one-trick John over here. 2, 3, 4, 5,
Hey, man.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
If it works,
40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 20,
don't need to reinvent the wheel.
I'm gonna go ahead and put. I'm gonna be playing this card, so I'll go ahead and put this in.
I'm just sorting so I can get rid of all the blue cards.
Yeah, that's easy sort. And a kettle top. My goodness, I'm gonna actually have to cut cards that I don't want to cut.
Because 24 is the minimum or the maximum?
It's the minimum.
Okay. I got a Spark Mage.
Great, you can play that. It's playable.
I think it's playable.
Oh, and Sir K, maybe. Maybe.
We like that. It's okay. That's pretty good.
You gonna Pacifico?
Don't like that. I don't think it's good for my current state of sleep.
Could also be really, really good.
You're high on mortality?
Am I high on mortality? Yes. Higher than I was. I mean, I don't think I'd have slots for it in this absolute
Bonkers pool.
just... I've not seen anything quite like this, to be honest with you. But yes, I will say that it ruined my game many, many times. I had 2... I finally built up where I could play 2 of those 3 cost stealth your guys when they come into play, the water guys. You would know them. 3 cost, 3 power. When they come into play, they give stealth to a nearby ally. I played 2 of them on the same turn. The second one gave stealth to the first one. And then John walks up and plays 2 mortalities and kills both of them. The stealth didn't matter.
Sweet justice.
This is
Carbon
for you while
Ballast.
Steam is gone.
So legit question as a new player and someone who is hesitant to get into sorcery was because of the board state look chaotic. What are the best practices for organizing your cards on the battlefield?
I got one.
Okay.
Let me
Hit
throw
me
one
with
in
it.
here. The one I learned was that you put your sights on the back row of the square towards you. On your back row.
Yeah.
That's a helpful one.
It's really funny. I never would have thought to say that, but I've just done that.
No, I never did it until
You just
someone
put
was
it
like,
in
hey, and I was like,
wherever.
oh, that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't found and maybe it's just because of the way I play the game, the boards don't tend to get overly cluttered because of how much removal exists. If you're both just kind of playing things and not removing each other's units, it could get a little chaotic. But I have found one of the charms of the game to me is the board starts off very simple, no sites, 1 site, and you only have 1 resource, and then it slowly gets more complex. And so by the time the board state is complicated, if you just walked up and looked, it would look crazy. But for me, it's like I'm like in it. And I could understand if that was like overwhelming or it may just be the way my brain functions that doesn't like stick out to me. So I don't have a lot of great advice. I'd be curious what other people in the chat have to say about that.
Justin's got a good one up there.
Justin's saying keep all your stuff to the lower left of each square and have your sights on the very bottom of the square. Yeah, I agree with that.
See you later. Just to have some dead air.
Can you pop gross poltergeist?
Yeah.
So it's a 3 for 1.
How do you spell that?
GROSSE.
I don't have it. Poltergeist?
Yeah, it looks like this.
Oh.
It's from beta.
I don't know. I guess it's not in the thing.
So it says it has tap until it leaves the realm, gain control of a nearby artifact, and animate it.
Make a note.
It's an automaton with power equal to its cost and has its own bearer's abilities. I'm not going to play that. I don't know what that does.
Did you go over your sealed strategy?
Mine?
Yeah.
No, I was answering questions about keeping the board uncluttered because I'm the perfect person for that.
Yeah, wait. About like, is sorcery too cluttered when you're playing?
No, just basically it can be overwhelming how much is on the board and managing whose sites are which sites and all this kind of stuff. So if there's any recommendations for how to handle that.
Yes. You know what my recommendation is?
I don't, but I'm here for it.
My true recommendation is keep playing so that both people get better at the game. Because once you get better at the game, it is not a problem. That's not because you're good at it, but because there's not as much stuff on the board. It just doesn't happen. You remove it, you trade, you play the game well.
Yeah.
I think early sorcery, it's like I'm going to play a thing and then set it here and like defend my front line, and then I'm going to play another thing and defend my front line, and you kind of build these impossible board states.
Yeah. That was kind of my answer.
Good.
Which is
nice.
I was like, I don't know if it's my play style or not, but in my experience, once you kind of get comfortable, board states really don't get that complicated.
Yeah.
Because of that reason.
Gotcha. Or Justin's got you.
Like what Enchantress does with the words. Great.
Yeah.
That helps.
I'm going to go ahead and just act like I know exactly how that functions.
Well, I'll tell you, you want to know my sealed strategy since I went 3 and 2 the other day?
Yeah.
Similar to my draft strategy. So anything 4 power or higher, you got to play straight up. And then I make 3 stacks. I make these are the best cards to play. The second one is like these are conditionally good cards or maybe good cards. And the third stack is cards that I'm just not going to play. Ominous Owl is an example of a card that I'm not going to play. And those evaluations are different for every player. That's why it's important. But like John played Ominous Owl and it took out my Phantasmal Shade because I forgot how Airborne works. But it's not a card that I would play. Same with Blood Ravens. Wasting a card when cards are so precious, if you don't have Sorcerer, when cards are so precious in a game, especially a limited game, your card value has to go higher. So everything that you play has to have more of an impact. You can't waste a card on something that might just do nothing. And I think Blood Ravens and Owl are in that category.
Notable with Blood Ravens is that art keeps getting better.
The art is, yeah.
Continues.
The more you look at it, the more
you look at it, the better.
Like Fade is a great middle card. It's like a card you might run once you see how the dust settles, but it's not a going to run the card like Arc Lightning is for me. Disenchant, I don't think there's enough auras and artifacts that matter in sealed. Cloud Spirit is a good middle ground card. Maybe it comes in. Lightning Bolt is 100% in. Min of Ling is maybe. Lightning Bolt's 100%. Disenchant is no. Spectral's maybe. Fade's maybe. Raised Dead is yes. Phantasmal Shade is yes for me. It says 4 on it. And Flanking Maneuver is going to be a maybe. So then I take the stack of non-playables for me and I put it out to the side. And then we come back in a fire. Charge is a no. Reckless Squire is a maybe. Saracen is a yes. Fire Breathing is a yes. Joust is a no. I know I've got enough removal. Burning Hands is a maybe. Sandworm is a yes. Caravan is a yes. Mad Dash is a maybe. Incinerate's a yes. Clamor is a yes. Petrosian's a yes. Sorry, Jonathan, you can't keep up with that. Pit Vipers is a maybe. Bolts is a yes. Scarabs is a yes. Scorched Earth is a no. Goons is a yes. Cavalry again is a yes. Caravan again is a yes. Mad Dash still a maybe. Firebolts again. Remlin Nomads is a great card. It's almost in the top stack for me, but not quite. And Maze Minotaur has a 4 power for 4. Unbelievably good card. I mean, heaven forbid, can I just play fire?
No.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 14 must-play fire cards. Unbelievable. Going on to Earth. No uncommon cottagers, Eric. I will never play these cards. Never, never, never. Farm Bears is a yes. Rescue is a no. Kettletop is a yes. Rita is a big yes. Belmont is a maybe. Border Militia is a yes. Crater Eyes is a pretty big yes. Autumn Unicorns, yes. Scent Hounds are in the maybes. Overpower is a maybe. Gnome is a no. Belmont still a maybe. Dryads, no. Border Militia, yes. Wow. And then water's gone. If I were doing water, Shelly Coates a yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Maybe a maybe Squire. Giant Shark is awkward. And that's it. So proud we are of all of them.
Giant Shark is one of those, I don't understand it enough to play it cards.
Well,
it's I just always put it to this side.
It's a constructed card too. You have to have a body of water that matters. If you can't play mono water in sealed, I don't think ever, unless God comes down and reveals their true form. And then Rolling Boulder, which I think is a big yes in this format. Change of Prometheus would be great against Sorcerer. So if I had intel that Sorcerer was coming in, I would probably try to slide in my Chains of Prometheus. Sturkay actually fits into this color pie extremely well. We've got a lot of fire cards. We've got air and earth that are all good. So I think this is a playable card for me. Sir Tristan has water and Blue Knight has water. So sadly, they gotta go. So then we basically say, okay, well, if we only play the cards that we want, we've got 5 air removal spells, and we're probably not even going to end up playing air. Crazy enough. 5,
That is crazy.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Crater Ice is a big maybe. Getting to 8 mana unlimited is kind of nuts. But if you do, I mean, God bless you. You did it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I counted wrong because I know that's the wrong number. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I've got 20 cards here. I go to 25 if I bring in air, but 3 of my air cards are 2 threshold. That starts to get a little awkward. I think what I do instead, I think I fill in the 4 cards I need in Earth Fire, and I just have a very consistent deck. Don't need a lot of sites. 5 mana. If Rid is in, that's a 6. Is it worth trying to get to 3 Earth Threshold to play that kind of a bomb? I mean, that's a big question. That's a big, big question. What would my other 4 look like?
This is going to be difficult. I have a lot of fire cards that I want to play. Not surprising. But I want to play 3 colors. I need to. I can almost play 2 colors.
I think I'm on 2.
But I can't quite do 2 colors. It's exciting.
All right, these are all out. I'm going to go ahead and cut air here. There's really only 5. I would definitely go into air for these 5 cards in a normal sealed pool. But this is not normal. This is just tremendous amount of in-faction value. Okay, now we're going to take this and we're going to separate it into bodies and spells.
I don't know, man. I do not know. This seems good.
And these spells are also bodies. So
24 is the minimum.
24 is the min.
Don't like it.
I think I'm going to pick up... I think I've got more than enough beef here. I currently have 6 spells, which means I have 14 bodies. So I like a good 8 spell deck. So I'm considering longbows and Mad Dash is a phenomenal spell when I've got big beef and cheddar over here. Reckless Squire wants to come in. Burning Hands maybe wants to come in. Let's see what our mortal situation looks like. Nothing there. Caravan, Cavalry. Caravan.
I feel like I'm about to get punked.
Saracen. So I only got 5 mortals. I'm not as big on Burning Hands as a lot of people are. And I do still have this Rolling Boulder too.
Yeah, people are nuts about Burning Hands.
Yeah, they are. It's one of the rare removal spells in Arthurian, so when you're only doing Arthurian, it's quite a bit better.
Yeah,
I would say.
I can understand that.
I got 2 Border Militias, so I do want to play a decent number of sites. I mean, Longbowmen are a really solid unit.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any tricks to make them, like, I don't have any blinks or anything weird that's gonna, like, push them. That would be cool if I did. But alas, I do not. Okay, so we've got, let's look at a power spread too.
Jim's saying Burning Hands is great, but Boulder is supreme.
Yeah, I think Boulder's where it's at. God, Clamor of Harpies, you're so good. Look at that curve, dude. Look at this beef curve.
It definitely goes up to the right. Oh my god. It's a thing.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23. Got 1 slot. We could throw in the Rimland Nomads for a little movement +1, little early game, but let's face it, our entire game plan is sprint to 4 mana and start dropping the bombs. So let's put Belmont in as kind of an early...
I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, you're gonna do that.
Not good for you there. I need any card that's going to allow me to not lose to a crazy early low-cost curve. The good news is I have all those cards already. Border Militia is a great card. Fire Bolts is great for that. Fire Breathing is great for that. What do we think? Longbowmen? Or Reckless Squire? Or Rimland Nomads?
I'm a Longbowman.
Or Burning Hands?
Give me some of those blue sleeves. Yeah, Cooper indeed. Yeah, it's good. I just feel like a 3/3 with ranged. I mean, it kind of depends on the needs of your deck, but 1 threshold 3/3 with ranged is so fundamentally
So strong.
annoying.
Yeah. So strong. But Lance Token. I think Renland's definitely out. It's not strong enough. Hands is still easy removal. Totally random. You're right on the Boulder. Boulder's gross. Every time it's been used against me, my dad plays it and wins instantly. It's how I die 90% of the time. That's right.
It's a great card to win the game with.
And Golden Eagle going to be producing some of the games that Jams recorded, and I think I'm going to try to do some commentary on those.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Recorded from the event this weekend. Nice.
Yeah, I had a camera set up. I'm going to take Reckless Squire over Longbowman. What did I say at the beginning of the stream?
Cooper.
Lance Tokens.
You did say Lance Tokens.
And it's like Squire opens up some really unexpected stuff that well, that you can't expect. Whereas Longbowman gets played, and then you have a chance to react. So we're going to go. This is probably 30 to 40% better than any sealed deck I've ever had in my life.
I told you I had a bad feeling.
So,
well, make quick work of me.
If you win,
I am a sealed god.
You're either a sealed god or I'm an absolute moron.
All right, you heard it here. I'm picturing the short already. A few moments later, and then Steven just staring at the table. Do we have a mat you want to play on? You want me to grab a mirror?
Grab that mirror, yeah.
Yeah, hey, didn't hear your head that time. Very good. You're learning.
Very good.
We can change.
How you doing, Zach?
It's cold in here.
It is cold.
You want me to turn it up a little bit?
No, that's okay. For
it was
me,
hot,
I'm fine.
Hot a minute ago.
I got a sweatshirt, you know?
I know you like to cuddle up.
I do.
Yeah.
I would prefer to live somewhere that is always in that little bit chilly range.
Maybe you shouldn't have built your company in Oklahoma.
A little bit chilly? I had a little bit chilly over there at the event.
You guys want to move?
We get that sausage wall. We can have a little bit of chili every day.
Sausage wall.
Let's build the store and then move. That would really be the ticket there.
I'm at the point with 3.0 where I think I'm delirious.
Yeah.
We've been doing it too long.
Can we say that we were out there yesterday picking out bricks?
Yeah, we were out there picking out
You just
bricks.
did.
Picking out bricks. we did it.
Dude, look at this. This is crazy. So these are my only multi-threshold cards. This is my stack of one threshold fire.
Dude, I had it. Look
It's
at this.
all good.
Look at this.
Beta was crazy with thresholds. I don't know what they were doing.
I think I had 12 one threshold fire that are in my deck. Yeah, threshold and beta. No knock against anyone designing it, but like it is crazy, actually.
And this is terrible television, but Zach, look at this. This is our friend Jasper. He can hook us up with a similar sausage wall.
That is a lot of sausage.
You know what the chat wants. The chat wants the sausage wall. The people want it.
Yeah, the chat don't have to live with it constantly. As charming as a wall of sausage is.
Yeah, go ahead and put that in the short, would you? Where's the box? The box of right there it is.
Yeah, I have a stack here too. If you.
So I'm looking at because I've got Rita. I'm gonna do 7-5 or 8-4.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do 8-4 and aggressively mulligan.
I did 5-5-2.
Cool.
I'm gonna aggressively mulligan for the 2. I only have like 6 one threshold cards in that 2, but they're all really good. Really good.
Really good.
I didn't have enough cards to just do 2 without being like 3 cards short. So if I'm gonna have to have dead cards in my deck anyway, they may as well be good cards when I have the threshold.
Good dead cards. That's how we play.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll sleeve up our sights and call it a day. Ooh, they're in the weird sleeves. What are these? Ultra Pros.
The ups.
Yeah. Brings me back. It's old school. Are you wanting to put that mat on there?
It's okay.
You just waiting on me?
I'm patient.
Like love.
Well, I guess I try to be patient.
You're saying it's not a characteristic of your person, but a choice that you make?
I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I'm not patient.
Yeah. Does that make you an impatient person? Or do you just have moments of impatience?
That's for the philosophers to decide.
Yeah, let's not.
That's beyond my pay scale.
If you let Zach hold that playmat like 5 minutes before he's going to fall asleep on it.
Oh, man.
Did you tell the people why you're so tired?
My daughter does that.
Really?
She'll just start laying against things. Like we have those blue chairs in the living room that like rock, and she'll just put her like forehead against it, and she's just like, "What are you doing, man?" Yeah, I got woken up at 3 a.m. because of a smart sock that said my daughter was maybe dying, even though she was peacefully asleep.
Sounds like a real smart sock.
Yeah,
Got him. That's the one you want to give me?
definitely for free. Yeah. I didn't say I wanted to give anything. If you want a smart sock, it's been great.
Angerworm wants the couple of minions rather than the 2 Mad Dash. That's why Angerworm is wrong.
Golly.
You wouldn't believe the amount of unexpected trades that you get into once you bring Mad Dash or Blink into the equation.
I would actually, because I also put it in my deck over minions.
Yeah, and like it's gonna get me to my better bodies that I didn't want to throw in the first place.
Bless you.
Okay, so if we were to meet at Gen Con and I finally had the chance to beat Angerworm, I think that's why it would happen.
To be clear, you're not going to Gen Con.
No. Yeah. No.
Wow.
Boss says
Too
no.
old. Too old.
That's not true.
I know, it's just kind of an old joke about Monsterpocalypse.
Boss says
Remember
no.
that? Wife says no? Hey, you coming to MonCon? Wife says no?
I do remember that. That's a deep cut.
What does Spark Mage do?
You don't need to worry about
Oh,
it.
yeah, it's actually really good.
Tap, target nearby location, deal damage to another random unit. They are equal to the sum of error on spells you've cast this turn.
So you cast a spell or 2, you can do 1 or 2 damage. Typically. Maybe 3, maybe 4,
Or
depending
maybe you
on
have
your
like a 3 threshold air card that you play, and then you like tap, do 3.
Can you imagine if you had gotten these instead? You just chose wrong packs, buddy. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Even I'll go first.
One day we're gonna not do it that way, and no one's gonna know what to do.
I'm going first.
My. Do you have the D6s somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
right
close
there.
to you.
Yep. Don't knock that water over.
Ooh, that was a close one.
I like
to.
to.
Out of all of the days, today was going to be it.
I like to live dangerously. You see, I need a little thrill in my life. Having a child was not enough.
I kind of like Sleep Deprived Zach more than normal Zach.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's a good...
What qualities of sleep deprived Zach?
There's a good, like, light, curmudgeon-y, nihilistic thing going on that I really connect with.
Just dampens the optimism a little bit.
Oh, wait, he's in the room. Yeah, we need a little less excitement and optimism and a little more just like, you know, life is hard. I like that. I can really connect with that.
I wonder why.
Meantime, I'm putting on a great show.
You're doing great.
I'm bright and cheery when those cameras come on.
When they go off, though, you guys switch.
When they go off, I head to Joplin, and I get really serious. I made a comment every time John
come back from that.
Every time John drew an extra card in this draft finals, I made a comment about it. And I feel
you
like,
just drew an extra card? Cool.
Yeah, I feel like that's what kept me in the game. I was in his head. That's what I've learned from our streams.
You got to get in the.
I was like, oh, a second card, that's really good. What does that avatar do? It's probably not actually very fun to play against that at all. Did you draw 4 cards?
No.
Don't forget. You got. Oh wait, you don't. Never mind. You start the game
Anger
with
word
1
is
card
clarifying,
less.
Steve.
What a fool.
Okay.
Anger word's clarifying.
I'm gonna mulligan 2 sites and 1 card from hand.
He's in the game.
EA Sports.
It's in the game.
Check up on the board there, Steven.
Angerworm, I don't hate a single dash. 2 is for frivolity.
Wild.
Well, I'm just gonna mulligan
That
this
is-
first one then.
That
I saw.
is a weird word.
Frivolity.
When frivolity, when it's spelled. Look at it.
Frivolity. Frivolity.
Is it frivolity?
Frivolity. Yes.
Frivolity.
To be frivolous. No, frivolity. Frivolity.
I said frivolity, right?
No, you said
frivolity.
No, you said frivolity.
Look at that word, though. It's a weird word. Is that not a weird word?
You should own a Pacifico. Dude. This is a great Pacifico conversation.
Look at all the words on that line of text and tell me the weirdest word.
It's the weirdest word by far. Yeah.
It's a weird word.
Yeah.
Maybe sleep deprived. He's not wrong.
That's what we've always said about our buddy Zach.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, this art is so good.
I'm going first. Tap. Play a forge. Make a lance. Put it on my guy.
Look, he's doing it, Peter.
Over to you.
All right, let's draw a site.
I was really my whole idea about drawing sites or not has really changed too.
Tap. Play a wasteland. Pass.
Notably worse. Okay.
Is that what you're doing in the finals? But
No, I wasn't doing that.
You drew
No. John didn't sign up for that one.
Like it's like your turn comes. Like I guess I'll tap and draw a sight. Notably worse than itself.
Okay, do we want to connect the bridge or not? You know, that's really what it comes down to, isn't it? Sure. Let's pay 1 to make a guy.
Deserts ahoy.
And I'll pass to you.
All right, let's draw a sight.
Oh, I didn't draw a card. It's fine. I'll give you the handicap. You need it?
You just didn't draw? You can draw.
Okay, I'll draw this one. Hey, look, it's the second Mad Dash.
All right, I will tap to play a sight and get a foot soldier.
Uh-huh.
Then I'll pass to you. And you're going to play the desert.
I don't have any deserts, actually.
Great.
I would love to have deserts. Don't have them.
Justin asking, what changed Steven's philosophy on drawing sites?
I'm going to draw a site. The fact that you can always draw sites, but you can't always draw cards. So there's like you should draw as few possible sites with this start of turn as possible. Like if it wasn't for a very particular reason, I just drew this site, which is all the 4 costs in my hand. I would wait and play a 3 cost twice and then tap Spellslinger to go get 1.
Or like if you were digging for a certain threshold.
Yeah, which unfortunately I did have to do in the finals. I had to go like 8 sides deep, like play 8 sides. We're gonna trade into the foot soldier because just an absolute waste. And then we're gonna play a site here.
Okay.
Pass to you.
Let's draw a spell. Let's play a game.
Make a deal.
I'm gonna play a Valley. And then we're going to play a Cave Trolls over here. Pass to you.
The Trolls.
For anyone not watching Saturday Night Live in the 90s, that is a reference to doubles. Look it up. It's funny.
Yeah, dude, Sleep Deprived Zach is great.
That's great. It's better.
I don't even have any alcohol yet.
Zach, what's the name of that DJ Rabbit?
DJ Bouncing Beats.
DJ Bouncing Beats, thank you.
He brings the beats.
I thought it was like a DJ Carrots. You know, I was thinking down that line.
It's like an alien rabbit. It's like the Bugs Bunny and the Monstars joined forces to create a character. Anyways, Lily loves DJ Bouncing Beats. She does this the whole time he's doing it. It's hilarious.
I'll play a site there, and let's play a Minotaur here. You can't escape a maze. You won't. You can't move out of a maze of this. So you can't move here with your cave trolls, but you can go here. Does that make sense?
This 9 square?
These 9 squares. Every enemy minion that once it enters the maze, must stay in the maze.
Okay. I'll draw a spell. That's cool. It's a cool dude there, Steven.
Hey,
let's play here.
This artist, I want to see more of him. I wish that there were more of him stuff. Yeah. He did that. He did Cyclops. A couple other ones.
It's
I love his
very cool style.
Yeah.
Very cool style.
Bryce was talking about it as one of his favorites. He says everything he does looks like it's done in neon. Don't know how to.
That's pretty cool.
Happens. It's really cool.
That's what happens when you have real people do your art. I'm sure with enough prompt training, I could get there.
Oh.
That's crazy.
All right.
I don't like the world that we're actually in right now.
I don't either.
That's not true. That's extremely tough. This is one of the greatest, if not the greatest time in the universal history to live.
But also,
it just feels like we're on a bit of a precipice.
Well, the problem is, it feels like the first thing you said is true, and we are absolutely just punting it.
Yeah, or maybe it's not true. I wasn't around in ancient Egypt. Maybe it was cool.
That's true.
I mean, we talk about diseases and stuff, but like, I don't know, in terms of value, happiness, daily purpose,
yeah,
those things may have been through the roof. I wasn't there.
And to be fair, we read old what's his name, Daniel Quinn stuff.
Oh, Ishmael and stuff. Yeah,
he was talking about how everything was flying off a cliff, and that was 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah, still flying.
Still flying.
I'm gonna play a border militia.
Cool.
And then I'm going to move my trolls here.
And
then I'll pass to you.
Okay. It's funny, this border militia can't move out of this maze of... It's funny, isn't it? They're in the maze.
Do you see how fun this is?
They're in the maze.
Thematically cool. It's like that Gothic card they preview with the cross on it. And then it's an AoE effect that's a cross shape. It's like,
Yep.
Beautiful.
Still got it.
You still got it. Yeah. All these 2 sets later. Still on it. Oh, man.
Do I have any other 2 costs I could draw here? Probably not.
You're hurting, Zach. I haven't seen this tired in a while.
Told you I need a solid 3 months off. It's probably the sleep talking. The lack of sleep talking.
Let's draw a spell for turn. Nailed it. Let's draw a sight with the avatar. Nailed it. We don't have Valor. Let's swing in at that foot soldier. And then we're going to firebolt your cave trolls. And then I'll pass to you.
All right. You did it. Draw a spell.
The maze has shifted, by the way.
Unfortunately,
just in case you're looking to move where you currently can't.
Let's go here.
See, I'm getting close to the Spark Mage, though, so now things are going to get weird.
Potentially.
But you'd have to tap.
Punch for 1.
Take 1.
Punch for 1.
Take 1.
I'm going to incinerate your Minotaur.
Ooh. Incinetar.
Incinetar. Hilarious.
All right. Start of the turn. Let's draw a spell.
Blue cards are spells?
Yep.
Okay, you're winning right now. I have an extra side out. You're still winning.
Just as bad all time.
Yeah, it went better for you than me. Getting rid of those trolls was really annoying.
Yeah.
I should have probably just taken them underground. But
what are you gonna do, you know?
Just...
Okay, let's throw a sight there. And then we'll just do a Reckless Squire here. And then we'll swing into this one with Lance. With charge. And then I'll pass it to you.
All right. Let's draw a spell. Tap Frostbite.
You know when you can just hear someone thinking? You just like hear their brain.
I know what that feeling is like. If you're saying, am I experiencing that now? No, I'm not currently experiencing
I'm not talking about you.
No, I'm saying I can't hear Zach thinking at all.
You can't.
I think what he's thinking right now is I was up at 2:45 last night, and I have no idea what these cards in my hand even do.
I'm just picturing a cut sequence in a show to my brain. And it's just like
it's like that bird.
See one of those tumbleweeds going through.
I was under the impression that Zach was thinking that bouncing makes him want to get bouncy.
It does. Yeah, it sure does. Well, I think we'll just keep it cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to trade these.
Yeah, great. Saves me the trouble.
I'm going to play Saracen Raiders here and swing for 3.
You got it.
And then pass to you.
Going to 15. 15. You heard him here first. Draw a spell.
Spell. Essence spell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little surprised we didn't make that joke over Essen.
Is it? That would have been
opportunity.
That would have been a good joke.
Yeah. I want to play this Essence spell.
Would have been a really good joke.
It's all really.
Mm-hmm. Great joke.
Yeah.
Some would say great joke.
It's just a casual 7 months too late.
Sometimes the best jokes are 7 months late.
Mm-hmm. It's like when you finally think of something to come back at someone with months, days, weeks, years later. I wish I had said this.
Okay. Let's tap to draw a site.
Gonna learn today.
We're gonna learn today.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna pay 5 for an Azer Ridge. Give it a Lance token. Over to you, sir.
Let's draw a spell. A spell.
A spiel.
It's too good. A swings for 5. That's
Pacifico, dude. That's a good one.
It is good. You play them there to get the Lance token on them.
Kind of. I mean, one of the big reasons I played him there is, there's a lot of reasons I played him there, but I also want to kind of get as far away from your Spark Mage as possible, because I don't want you to pull some weird move your Spark Mage with a blink and then target my location, take my guy out, and then swing for 3 with Saracen, and I'm back to square one. I want bodies on the table. I want that value to be there, even if I got to take 3. But it has all unlimited minion types, which means it has flying. Airborne. Which is a minion type.
I don't think this is true.
Has airborne, has lethal, has burrowing, has submerge. It's not true.
That's not true.
I know, it's not true. I'm just...
I like it.
For a moment there, though, it was like, I have significantly undervalued this card.
What have I done? Okay. I will... Well, before we do that, I will punch you for 3.
Take it.
According to the scoreboard, I'm winning.
You're winning, dude.
Don't know how that feels, really, though.
I'm
going to play a Humble Village. You get a foot soldier.
Oh, it is humble.
And then...
What am my next trick?
I'm going to raise you a caravan.
A double caravan?
It's a double caravan.
Camels everywhere, baby.
Those are potentially good with Spark Mage. Because they're technically air. But it doesn't work, right? Does this count as air?
I don't believe so.
Oh, we got to choose to choose. You got to choose to choose. Every single time. It's not, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. We can go ahead and get the land out if we wanted. We could get it out, but then, what are you really doing? Is that worth it? Probably not. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to play Mad Dash. Get this +1. Hey, that's for Angerworm, buddy.
Oh, wow. Angerworm called it just as you were playing.
Swing into the Saracen. And then for our next trick, we've technically got that many things.
Angerworm, the optimal Mad Dash setup.
It's like I set that up somehow. You see that? You remember that?
I do.
Remember how that worked? And then let's go ahead and just play, and then we'll go...
What's that?
Hunter's Lodge.
Hunter's Lodge. We'll go Ogre Goons here.
Zagoons.
Zagoons!
Okay. Mine?
Oh, you know what? Hold on. What? You want to know what's a way better play? You ready? Okay. Drop the lance on the Spell Slinger. Kill a 4 into a 3. Ogre Goons to pick up the lance.
That is better.
Like, that will lose you or win you a sealed tournament right there. Because now I can block Asia Ridge. Unbelievable.
It's true.
You can be good at this game, or you can be really not good at the game. It's crazy.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. How many spells are in your hand? Asking for a friend.
5.
5. That is a lot. I'm gonna play, by golly, one of my favorite cards from Arthurian Legends, Warhorse.
Gobble shot.
That Warhorse is gonna carry my caravan.
Love it.
Hold on, they're saddling up. Because the Warhorse has charge. So Warhorse will move, may carry an ally. It's just gonna move here. Hypothetically, could the Warhorse move and attack?
It could. I could block it with the Goons.
And
Whatever
carry.
you want.
I don't. Well, you can come get it anyway.
Then you could kill my
unless
Goons with your caravan.
Yeah.
So I probably wouldn't. I'd probably take 2, honestly, dude.
I will swing.
But then I'm thinking, like, so if I don't block this, you swing caravan over here, I take 4 anyway. So what's it worth? I'm still going to have to clear those. I'm still going to have to clear that Warhorse out. And then your caravan is here, so I can just swing in, trade, level the playing field, and feel good about my late game.
Well, my caravan wouldn't be there either way, right?
It would be if you stayed here after I blocked the
clear
Goons,
the Goons,
and then you kill the Goons.
The question is, do you drop the lance?
Can't drop the lance on my turn.
Oh, it depends on your turn.
I will block the horse.
Okay.
And then you can decide if you want a Goon or you want 4 damage, your choice.
Block a horse, ride a cowboy.
Block a horse, ride a cowboy, as they say.
I'm going to swing for 4 on the site.
Okay, I'll take it.
And then I'll spin attack there.
Ooh. Take 4, and then I'll take a spin attack.
I think Sleepy Zach might be lulling into
Sleepy Zach, lulling himself into a
it's all fake.
sense of...
Over to you. You know what? That's not true. I'm going to move Spark Mage up.
there it goes.
And I'll move Foot Soldier up.
Okay.
No reason. All
right, let's take a draw here.
I was a little surprised when you did your Mad Dash that you didn't get rid of my caravan.
Your caravan was here?
Uh-huh.
That would have been maybe better.
That's what I thought you were going to do, but I didn't know what you were cooking.
Dropping the lance, I think dropping the lance is better. The first thing that I did was the worst thing to do.
Yeah, if you're going to drop the lance, it starts to get comparable.
Okay, let's get on the board, and then I think we just need to see how you deal with this. Let's just see, right? Right? Or we could play the same game we always play. Yeah, let's try it. Swing in here for 3.
Take 3. He's on the board.
And then we will go...
Recently finished Andor Season 2, of course. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. But then also watched Rogue One immediately following that. And so the line that's been in my head, for some reason, this is the line. So, are you here to kill me? Still got me when I watched it again.
How's Rogue One post Andor?
You know, I'm gonna not spoil anything about Andor.
Yeah, don't, because I'm so in on Andor.
2 things are really apparent to me. One is that they had a lot more time to write and tell Andor in the episodes.
I'm gonna move
the depth of what's going on. The second one is actually how Rogue One feels like it's trying to be Star Wars more than I felt like it when I watched it previously.
Interesting.
Whereas Andor feels way more like it's okay just being its own thing. Even from the music and the characters and the way it's working is like, and that was fresh off Disney buying Star Wars. Like even the music, it's like, oh, you're trying to make it feel like Star Wars.
I see.
I'm gonna play Rita here. Other minions can't untap.
What's his full name?
Rita, Gower of Snowdonia. And this is the first time I've ever noticed that's not nearby minions. It's just all minions.
It's all minions.
Cease.
Your minions.
Yeah.
His minions. It's just Rita. It's the Rita show now.
That is insanity. Okay. Draw spell.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. It's really cool when you have silence.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think disable would work as well. Maybe
like
not.
on your turn.
Swing for 1 there.
So you can kind of like turn them on and off.
On and off, yeah. You got it.
Then we'll play guards.
Yo, there it is. You did it.
Does this count as nearby?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's pretty good guards.
It is a good guards cards.
Good guards.
And then I'll pass to you. Okay. But they're all minions that don't untap, funnily enough.
Yeah, but it might be enough to DD it.
Might be enough to get me there. We'll see.
So basically, we just need to get through this, and we'll feel okay. Okay.
And I've got to draw something to get rid of that thing. Sweet God. That card is a sealed bomb. That is wild. Who's the artist there? Tony. I can't say that.
Scandalizo or whatever.
CZUD.
Okay. You got how many spells?
Dose.
You gonna be able to go home and nap after this?
Mm-mm.
No.
It's really unfortunate. I have a accountant meeting after this. Those are exciting.
I bet you're gonna stay awake.
Yeah, it actually is exciting. 3.0 stuff, but the other stuff is my oldest brother had an exchange student this year.
Oh, cool.
Who's a senior who's graduating. So I'm going to his graduation.
You're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it.
Anyways, he's from Belgium. He's a great kid.
Nice.
Really lovely. Cool experience.
You've been talking to him about securing those sausages?
Yeah. In fact,
secure the sausage.
Every time I've seen him, the only topic I allow is secured sausages.
What else do you need to know?
All right, Spell Slinger is going to take one to swing into, I guess, this.
That's cool, Anger Worm, about the music.
I'll swing into this Foot Soldier. And hope you don't have Valor. I got burned by Valor at the tournament.
Yeah, I'll
take one.
Swapsies. Valor would be insane right there.
Yeah, that's really good. Okay, then we're gonna do Fire Breathing here.
Okay.
So forward everything here. 1, 1, 1.
Okay. So ones.
Mm-hmm.
Technically 1. 4 here.
Mm-hmm.
So this, and I take 4.
And 4 to your
That's pretty good.
Face. Grar is going to swing in and kill this foot soldier.
Okay. Pretty good.
And then...
How much of that fire breathing cost?
4-2.
Off of the caravan?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
It can be cast by this off of what?
The caravan?
What about the caravan?
Who cast the fire breathing?
It's a spell
Spell
slinger.
Slinger.
Oh.
It may be cast by an allied beast or mortal, but it can be cast by your avatar as always.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's something I learned at Sorcery Con.
May
It's
versus
May.
must.
And then I'll play a Kettle Top Leprechaun here.
I get it.
Okay. Mine?
Past you? Yep.
Straw spell. Intriguing. Okie dokie. You have 6.
Mm-hmm.
Tap crossfire.
I may need to find a way to kill Rita.
Your own Rita?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird problem.
This is a really very cool game because like Guards is the exact kind of card that punishes a play a big body every turn deck. You remember in Spoils whenever there was that draft strategy, just draft the biggest, highest cost stuff and then just accelerate into it. It works way better until you're on a grid game. Then one body is a lot of times not as good as 3 way worse bodies.
It also works better when you have pay 3 draw card, pay 4 play resource.
Yeah. You have an actual ramp.
You're basically a sorcerer.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly the same, but it's similar. If you're a sorcerer, it's a lot easier to get away with that strategy.
Yeah.
But you handled it pretty well. I mean, it seems like you have having any sort of AoE.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that my avatar is right in the middle of it for the.
Like if you don't have that, dang.
You're getting steamrolled here.
Guards is so
yeah.
good.
Yeah, it is very good.
Dang. Isn't there unless you have Rain of Arrows? That's maybe you should run Rain of Arrows. Want everything on the board. Your foot soldiers have absolutely rocked me. You've gotten like 20 foot soldiers. You're like Jonathan.
I'll swing for 1 here.
Take it.
Yeah. Swing for 1 here.
I guess I'll take the block.
Okay.
Well, I've got it.
Swing for 1 here.
Take it. I'd rather do that than risk losing Kettle Top to Spark Mage ability, and I guess you've already tapped, so it doesn't much matter.
Boss Troll.
Okay.
And pass.
Boss Control and pass.
And you're at 4.
4.
He doesn't untap, right?
Trolling. What? Oh, right. Nothing untaps. No minions untap.
You did this, Steven.
I know. I know. My avatar does, though, yeah.
Angor, apparently, I just need to read this saying, I read that the composer was intentionally shifting towards a more orchestral sound as they approached the end of Andor to flow better into the films. Yeah.
They thought about it.
Yeah. You just don't realize it's missing. And then you put it on, and it's like, oh, Star Wars sound.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I guess we need to get Rita in a place to swing into your avatar. Rule number 1. Rule number 2. Okay. Caster. Okay, then we have the near situation. Ah, man, do I even do board stuff? Right? Right? It's like, what is the point of clearing the board whenever they're all sitting down?
You got yourself a whole different situation here.
I believe I've spiked my own punch here.
Skeeterita, baby. Skeeterita. Wild.
Okay. But, We can get into
That was
this.
my own punch.
We can get into this.
I mean, you've got a 6 strength thing on the board that
Let's just kill that caravan.
I can't necessarily stop.
I'll move here.
This is getting spicy.
Yeah. And I will incinerate here for 5.
That's everything.
That's everything. And then I will pass it back to you.
All right. Draw a spell.
You can always use your Spark Mage, but now it'll always be a random, so you could Smart Mage yourself. It says random
right.
unit, right?
Yeah.
Not random enemy unit?
Another random unit.
Another? So not himself. Yeah, you can't Spark Mage yourself. Okay, well, that's not as good. That might be your win con, dude. Play 4 Thresh and go. I didn't know whether to incinerate that board or do 4 to you and anticipate having 6 more come in and leave you at 3. I don't know. I'm just a guy.
If I'm on a site with you and I shoot a projectile, what happens?
You can hit me with it.
What if it's multiple projectiles? They can all hit you.
Yes. Like a firebolts could hit me for 3, yes.
It's oddly specific, Steven.
You're looking really good if you do that. I don't feel good about this at all.
What magic missiles?
Okay.
And hit you for 3.
You got it.
And then I'll spark mage you for 1.
You got it, dude. I think I lose.
DD.
Straight up lose.
Oh, I can't do that.
Got it. Back in we go. What
I
happens?
don't have air threshold
You have 0 error cards.
on the board currently.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, that's about to change. I will play
Spell Sling needs a mad dash right about now.
Beacon.
+1, right? You got a kettle top?
Yeah, doesn't matter.
I'm so playing out against that magic missiles.
Alright.
I'm getting away from here. Be cool with my stuff untapped. Oh, dude, I go and hide it with Rita and the crew because that's a 33% chance you just don't hit me with that Spark Mage. It's not metagaming at all.
I am going to play York Crossbowman here.
Nice.
And then I'll pass to you.
Hierarchy. Cool. This is a fascinating little game.
It's a bummer about those magic missiles not being playable. I feel pretty good.
Yeah, real bummer.
I don't feel horrible, but
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm just following the framework, buddy.
yeah, remember you did this. Sorcery's so good.
What do you block this if I come in for 6, or do you not even care? Well, I guess we should look at we can just kill you.
Always worth looking at. Highly recommend.
12, you're at 13.
Middle of Mammy.
I'm 1 away.
Oh, dang. My empathy is off the charts for you. I don't know if you can feel my empathy or not.
I can feel your empathy, buddy. I can feel it.
It's funny because empathy is basically me feeling your feelings. So
Don't
you
feel
can
my
feel
feelings,
me.
dude.
You can feel me feeling your feelings.
Quit feeling my feelings.
Where does it end?
Quit feeling my feelings.
Feeling horrible.
Man, come on. What is this even? Okay, so you're gonna... Dang. Six, 9, 10. There's a way. Okay. That's interesting.
What's interesting?
I guess it all depends on what you do with Snowdonia. Snowdonia.
Isn't there in Arthurian Legends, not the set, but the actual stories, isn't it? There's something close to that, like Scardonia or something like that, that is like an actual place?
How do projectiles work again? Do you have to hit the enemy on your site?
Yeah, you start with the enemy on your site.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can dodge the ally on your site.
All right, let's start here. Let's swing for 6 at your Spark Mage.
Make him think. That's his weakness.
I'll block. It's very funny.
Oh, man, that is very funny.
That's his weakness. It's his brain. Snowdonia is in Wales. Okay, so it's just a real place.
Oh, there you go.
It sounded...
Okay.
You were talking about it earlier. I was too focused on the emptiness in my brain.
So that's the thing. If I move, I think I'll just do that. I'm gonna move here because you blocked that. No good. And then
the real unfortunate thing about old Snowdonia here is, even if I can remove it, when I do remove it, if you have stuff on the board, you're the first person that gets the benefit of
right.
removal.
Yeah, I'm on Snowdonia time. Let's go Petrosian Cavalry for 4. Swing into you for 3.
Take 3.
And then I've got 2 mana left. And I honestly I don't know what I should do, which is pretty standard. So I will, of course, just I'll wait.
Over to me?
Yep.
Alright, draw a spell.
Stack them deep, sell them cheap. Having guards flashbacks. Dang, dude. Rita is a bit of a bomb.
Okay. I think I know what I have to do.
Yeah.
Do I have the strength to do it? I am going to attack this site for 1.
Good.
Then I'll magic missiles your spell slinger to Death's Door.
You got it.
Then I will play Sandworm here.
The worm.
Over to you.
Not the worm. Stand up. This our Spark Mage is really good.
He cannot escape me.
Rita coming in.
Lovely Rita.
Okay, so we basically need a bunch of blockers. But we don't really have them. I mean, we can leave Rita up. That's a blocker.
It is.
And sure, we can't like... Yeah, I need a blocker, and then we just need a random... I mean, like Lightning Bolt is good with a lot of stuff. And then we need to think about, can we get you to Death's Door? I'll kill your car.
One way to not lose is to win. I've always said that. You remember from when we were 12. It's really big on that.
Yeah, that's a classic there.
Of course, you coined the "it's all about winning."
Yeah. I guess I'm trying to figure out how can I win while also not losing.
The delicate balance.
If there's even a way, because like you might have like an incinerating hand and it doesn't matter. So it is. You got one card in here? What's a sandworm? A sandworm isn't even worth anything. I guess I'll play into the definite ability, which is Spark Mage. Move, stack up a bunch of bodies, and then basically try to get away. Okay, we'll see if you just got what you need in hand. Boom.
I can feel the tension.
Boom.
Holy smokes.
Actually, we'll just do this one. This is me as well. We'll do Clamor, and we'll take this guy.
Not Foot Soldier number 7.
Foot Soldier number 7, the critical. And then let's see, you're at 10, 7, so that could do it. Yeah, we'll pass. See if you got what you need.
Draw a spell.
Dun 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 dun.
2 blockers.
Run! I have 1 Mad Dash on the bottom of my deck. Just go ahead and David Blaine that one up. Yeah, Dysphoria, this is great. It's again, I always feel like I undervalue early game stuff. Like in Sorcery, you got the early game, you got your late game bodies, and then you've got your volume.
Yeah, just bodies.
Volume
I had so many Foot Soldiers.
Volume is tough for a body deck, even though there's so many good bodies.
I think I don't want to do this.
You should do it if it wins you the game.
But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna Mad Dash.
Nice.
Give the Sandworm +1 movement.
Nice.
And draw a card.
You got it.
That's something.
The funny thing is, none of this stuff untaps. Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I have weirdly noticed it.
I'm not prepared to play Sorcery different.
I guess that's what I should do. Don't love it, really. Here we are. You got 4 things there.
25% chance? Dude, I 100% take 25% chance at game here.
Yeah. I'll play Sir Percival.
But you're different. You're not.
Do you want to choose a site?
Yeah. And then when he goes there, he draws a card.
Yeah.
Let's choose this one. Never get there. You want to tap.
I'll tap, choose here.
To do 1 damage?
To do 1 damage to something random.
Okay. What do you want the magic D20 roll? Do you want me to be 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 11 through 15, or 16 to 20? You want high roll, low roll?
6 to 10.
6 to 10, okay. And then everything else
Doesn't matter.
6 to 10 is the kill. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
5 out of 20.
I'm going to roll 7.
Okay. It'd be cool if that happens.
12.
12.
All right, we missed.
Okay, miss. It's fine.
Past you.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. And you're just stacking up blockers. I understand. Draw a card.
This guy gets it.
Yeah.
And I'm digging for cards.
Trying to find.
There's a number of cards that will just end the game on the spot.
Trying to find the.
And I just need one of them.
If he's got more chargers, it looks good. It looks really good.
like charge, incinerate, anything that does damage to everything on location. It's very good. Air cards, so I can trigger my rando ability.
We've got to get away. We've got to get out of here.
Run as fast as you can.
And how do I win in the meantime? Rita!
I mean, you can just punch my land.
What have you done? Rita! Yes, of course. Okay. You can't both move and use the Spark Mage. You can block all the stuff that I've got coming in. So no matter what I do, these guys swing here, you can block them. Swing here, you can block them. True story. Any way to get around that. When you do 10 damage. Okay. 10 damage. How do projectiles work with allies on the site?
You can skip one ally, right? The first ally
is the only one.
I think
that's right.
I don't exactly remember though.
That feels right.
It's weirdly specific if it's wrong.
Okay, I see a lane here. Okay. You blocked that one. Okay. And I can't swing here because if you block, I lose.
That you can't swing there with your avatar, yeah.
Yeah, that's trouble. Because the avatar is going to move here, and then we've got to. I think the boat's moving, man.
Avatar with the big baddie.
I think boat's moving.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
But like I'm really exposed at that point. This is where I'm not good enough at sorcery to know what to do here. And then you can also play kind of a weird game of knifey spoony here.
Apparently you can skip your allies on the starting site.
All allies. Okay, scene.
This is according to Joseph Fernandez.
This is okay. I wish I could find one more damage. Where could it be? Where could it be, Zach? There's got to be a way. There's always a way. Swing for 3.
Take 3. Death's Door is easily the best mechanic in this game. It's so good. This moment right now where you're living on the edge, and I just need to squeak one in.
I'm halfway there. Okay, then we'll go pay 2. I'm going to Firebolt your Spark Mage.
For 3.
Down to 4. I'm going to move here. But we've got to have a blocker just in case you have a charge minion. It's crazy. Let's go. I think Rita just stays here. That way, if you enter, I can Death Door you. And then we'll go Patrician Cavalry here. No. We'll go Asia Ridge Caravan here. No, I already put Firebolts. Patrician. Okay, over to you.
You have the resources for that?
4 and 2.
Oh, Firebolts is 2. So good.
Yeah, it's a beta card.
All right, draw so.
This is the point of the game I've been trying to get to, but I'm afraid I'm doored a little early.
You actually mentioned this card before we started.
I Nice. Good job. Well in.
A few moments later. I don't know. What happened there?
Early, basically only being able to play one body a turn. It was a lot of early tempo. And Rita's weird.
that I would be really curious to know what happens in this game if you don't play that.
Yeah, because like I'm built to have better units than you that gradually gain board advantage, and so I wasn't able to do that.
Yeah, because
so I think that might have happened.
Yeah, because looking back, right, I played Border Militia, 3 foot soldiers. I played Guards for 9 foot soldiers.
Yeah.
I had early Cave Trolls. I also had early Charge between Saracen Raiders and Warhorse. And then I had a
spin on the Asia Ridge.
Yeah, spin.
So that's
I had
card for card.
Incinerate.
That's fine.
That's normal.
Yeah, these two were big. So these are the kind of cards that take care of a quality units deck. Because there's no I'm wasting time swinging a 4 into a foot soldier. Just like that curve is not good.
Yeah, you can't.
That was the biggest issue here. And this happens a lot because like the units that are quality good units are still going to lose to 9 bodies. 9 turns of them doing nothing, of course, is you can't do it.
And it was if you didn't have a thing to clear out 4 or 5 foot soldiers on that one
fire
turn,
breathing.
It's like
crazy.
That's really it.
I like Guards better than I think I like Rita.
Yeah, Guards is.
I thought this was nearby.
Oh yeah, it's just if it was nearby, it'd be so powerful. Just you choose where it's at.
I know, so good. Well done. That's great.
This was the debate I was doing in deck building, and it was hard for me to express. I ended up on Spark Mage, but the threshold I was adding was air because I didn't have very many good air cards. But the cards I did have in air were Grapple Shot, Spectral Stalker, Plume Pegasus, Roaming Monster, and Magic Missiles.
That's worth a 1 slot for
sure. It's all 1.
Yeah.
And then I get the bonus in game of Spark Mage random 1s. I just wasn't sure how that would actually play.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
Rita, when you first played Rita in my mind, it was like I even did the thing. It's like it's a bomb. And I don't know anymore.
It doesn't. Because you get 6 every time, technically.
Yes. If you
get a recurring 6.
I think you have to play it when you're not behind.
Yes.
If we're both at 15 to 20 health and you play that, it is so hard for me to ever keep up.
I'm completely with that.
Because you're just getting 6 for free, and especially if I don't have an actual answer. Which there's very few things that do answer it.
Like a berry is probably it.
Yeah. Which I had 1 in my deck somewhere.
1 somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, I had Poison Nova in there too.
There's some look, 2 border militias coming up. That's nice. But yeah, just a little too late, and that does happen. That does happen. I don't know the answer to that.
Oh yeah, so Percival is also air. Yeah, that was my other air card. Yeah, but it's one air threshold.
It's a pretty dang good air card. 5 health is hard to deal with in this format.
Yeah.
Cool. Well done, man. That's very impressive. Very nice. I love it.
That was a good game.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for everything. Play Sorcery. Oh my gosh.
Also,
what a great game.
To be clear, if you're otherwise unaware, if you have a subscription for Sorcery Booster Boxes, it does not include Dragonlord.
That's right.
That'll be available separately at some point in the future. They announced they're going to be making it available at Gen Con, I think, for the first time. Yeah. And then we'll see from there. But right now, if you sign up for a subscription, we have a huge UX overhaul coming that makes this a lot more clear. Someone in here design it. That's the goal. But the current thing you would get if you sign up right now is Gothic Booster Boxes next, which waiting to see when that's going to happen. And that I keep thinking about that card with the cross on it.
So good.
It's just so good.
I think Gothic's going to be
slam dunk arena.
I think it's going to be a slam dunk. Yeah. I have a full faith that this is the exact kind of set that this kind of game and Eric as a person is going to absolutely nail. But it's not even going to be
built for this moment.
Yeah, it's built for this.
Yeah, can't wait. Anyways, thanks for being here.
Thanks,
we'll see you next
everybody.
time.
We'll see you next time.